Hi, I'm Novelette with Morgen Real Estate. On March 3rd, the City of Torrance will have its general election where voters will choose City Council members from 3 of its 6 districts. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with one of the candidates for District 6, Andrew DeBlock. Andrew is also the Torrance representative for State Assemblymember Muratsuchi. Hi Andrew, thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Good, thanks. So Andrew, tell me, what is District 6?
Well, thank you for asking, because one of the biggest things about this election is the new district-based system. So I actually brought a map from home for folks to see. The district is centered on the airport. The borders are Rolling Hills on the bottom, Lomita, and then it follows Crenshaw all the way up to Monterey, cuts over at Maple, and then Sepulveda, and then it follows Ocean, just one block past Hawthorne, all the way down to the southern part of the district. So when we're thinking about the part of the city we're in, the airport's a good geographic marker for folks when they're thinking about District 6.
Then the other question I have is, what motivated you to run for City Council?
Well, you know, I've dedicated my life to public service, and I'm really especially proud of my record delivering for Torrance at the state level. Working for Assemblymember Betsy Butler, when she was your Assemblymember, I did projects like the Toyota Sports Complex on Maple by the courthouse, bringing in state resources and coordinating agencies to ensure that project is completed. And Torrance is the home, and the founder of AYSO knows how important those fields are to the folks that live in the city. So starting there and then moving forward, more recently working on projects like delivering multi-million-dollar grants from the state to save the Southern California Regional Occupational Center, to bring money for the Green Line to Torrance. Also projects working with El Camino College to secure, again, a multi-million-dollar grant from the state to build a public safety training center right here in the city of Torrance. They're all things I'm really proud of working on. I hope to bring the advocacy work that I've done at the state level back home to the city of Torrance and bring it a city perspective, and also be able to leverage state and county resources as we work on regional issues. It's really important that we bring our fair share of dollars from the state and county level to our city, and I'm really proud of efforts I've done to do that, and I really think I'll be a strong advocate on council if elected.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. You said that your block-by-block plan is to focus on local issues to further reduce crime, fight for clean air and water, protect our beaches from stormwater runoff, prioritize neighborhood services, and address the homelessness crisis. In a nutshell, what is the block-by-block plan? Yeah,
so thank you. Obviously a play on my last name and wanting to encompass all those ideas into a simple back-to-basics approach. It starts with listening to residents, right? Both in my role working for the Assembly members, past and present, and then knocking on doors, talking to voters this cycle. Hearing directly from folks has been really important. As we have a district-based election for the first time, it really lets me hone in and hear what residents have to say and spend more time at the door really talking to folks directly. And so what I've heard talking to folks is that there needs to be a greater focus on neighborhood services, especially when it comes to tree trimming, and letting folks know why and when we're doing that sort of thing. Also, paving, slurry seal, how we're dealing with maintaining our roads. That's a basic step towards improving traffic, ensuring that we have a good road surface and we're being thoughtful as we do our master plan implementation. Public safety. So again, greater access is very important to me to ensure folks have a way to talk to people directly. Part of what I hope to do is break down barriers to government to ensure you have a chance to talk to somebody real if you have a concern, and maybe in a less formal setting. So you're able to chat with me or a first responder in a way where you can have a real conversation and share a story instead of feeling like you're at a ticking clock at a council meeting or something like that. So part of my approach is just that, is being able to listen to folks, hear directly from them, and take these ideas and say, here's how we implement change. Not every resident necessarily knows how to make a change to code or how to take that next step, but really that's not necessarily your job. Your job as a resident is to raise your hand and say, hey Andrew, you're my elected leader. I need you to help figure this out. And I say, I hear you, I can help move those next steps, move that ball forward. And so that's my job if elected. So I want to make sure that folks know I have that approach and mentality, that I'm listening to folks directly, and that these are things I've heard we need to work on starting day one if I'm elected.
Lovely, thank you for sharing that. And so is there anything else you'd like to share with the community?
Yeah, I'm so in love with this community. I'm so grateful for all the support I've received so far. Talking to folks, knocking on doors. Every door I knock on, I feel more and more confident that Torrance is the city that I'm going to call home forever, and I'm so glad I chose to put down roots here. Folks care about the city. They're really engaged. They want to talk about real issues, and they're really invested in their community. People know their neighbors. They talk about issues with one another. And people watch city council meetings. I hear all the time, well, did you see this? Did you see that? That level of engagement is something that makes this city such a great place to live and has such a strongly woven civic fabric. I'm also really proud of the support I've garnered so far. I'm happy to have the mayor's endorsement, our Torrance firefighters endorsement, the Sierra Club's endorsement. These are all things I fought for my whole life and career, and now it's so nice to have folks recognize that work and say, hey, Andrew, we're on this journey with you as you hopefully are working towards being our next city council member. And so this whole experience has been so positive for me, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity as well to share more about myself and about what's happening in the city with you and your listeners and viewers.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you so much for the time.
Okay, and thank you for speaking with us today.